Pretoria studios. Good afternoon, Doctor, and thank you for making time for us on the weekend.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to the viewers.
Chris, another worrying carjacking turned kidnapping. It's not the first time we're seeing this. We've had a few of these cases. Are we seeing a worrying pattern or trend emerging where the carjackers drive off with passengers or little children while still inside the vehicle?
No, I don't think we have an emerging trend on this specific issue of children which are taken with during carjacking. This is an old trend. I mean, we found many cases in the past where there were children strapped in their little seat or in the car, and hijackers take the car and then drive off with this children. The aim is still the car. But because of the time that they don't want to use too much time, they drive off with the child. And, well, hopefully the child will later be found or not be found. But that's not the issue. The issue is that together with carjacking goes quite a lot of kidnappings. There's also another purpose. Sometimes the driver is kidnapped. And I think that's a newer trend. That's a trend, a developing trend, where the driver is kidnapped for either a case of not activating the tracking system of the vehicle. So you take the driver with, and then you don't activate the tracking system, or he or she is taken with for the credit cards and the cash cards to be used. I mean, you need the driver to use those cards. We must remember that hijacking, the only motive for hijacking is not always, the primary motive is not always to hijack the vehicle. I think in this specific case, the aim was to hijack the vehicle. The specific brand of vehicle, it seems it may be that this vehicle is going to be used in crime later on.
Chris, are we seeing an increase in hijackings and carjackings over the last 5 years? And if this is so, is it due to a lack of intelligence at station level perhaps, or shortfalls in just analysis of data?
Well, if we take it a very quick look, in 2008-9, we had a decrease of 6.8. Then in 9-10, a massive decrease of nearly 24%. And in 10-11, a decrease of 11%. Those were the 3 years of what I call the Kele era. And then just after that, from 11-12, as with many of our crime trends, we got increases. For the last 4 years, we have an average increase of 14% per year. And then the latest stats, which was released on Tuesday, we had a very small, extremely small marginal decrease of 2.3%, which is only about 400 cases.
So
now,
Chris,
that's only a drop if we look at it
yes.
again.
If I can just interject there for a moment, I apologize. So how did Minister Cele get it right during his era? Because we saw a marked drop in this particular crime.
Well, because that was the years of the soccer. And hijacking was a specific aim to bring down hijackings to, when foreigners come and visit South Africa during the year, the 2010 soccer World Cup. We didn't want a lot of hijackings here. And the real story was intelligence analysis of hijackings and other crimes at station level. You must know your hotspots. You must link your cases. You must identify your groups of runners. And then through the groups of runners that you identify,
what is a runner,
you
Chris?
go
Sorry, for the benefit of viewers.
You identify that.
Yes, for the benefit of viewers who are not familiar with the terminology, what is a runner?
The runners is the guys who are active on ground level, who's doing the actual hijacking. But you must know that they are now taking these vehicles to people who have ordered the vehicles, either to export the vehicles, to use the vehicles in other crime, or to clone the vehicles. That is to change the vehicle in a sense, to put it back into the system so that it can be sold. Now, through your groups of runners, which you identify at station level, you then identify the guys who order the vehicle, either to clone it, to export it, to chop it up, or to use in other crime. And that intelligence then is taken by your organized crime units, and they then try to infiltrate. You get intelligence people to infiltrate the syndicates.
Chris, you've mentioned...
that is the recipe that we saw in 2019.
All right. You've mentioned cross-border crimes. Now, recently, we saw a number of measures put into place to really beef up our cross-border security measures. How effective has that been in trying to curb crime of this nature? Do you have any idea at all?
No, I don't have any idea, but it will. It will. I mean, if you make your borders more secure, and if you can control cross-border crime, the export of vehicles, the illegal export of vehicles, then it will have an effect on your hijackings, for example. But you must remember, there are other uses. As I say, the cloning of vehicles, the use of vehicles in crime again, the chopping up of vehicles to get to the parts, the different. So if on one area we succeed in reducing that specific one, then it may shot up in other areas like the cloning or the chopping up of vehicles.
Chris, very quickly, can you share with us some safety tips for parents and caregivers who are often traveling with small children and who may unfortunately find themselves in a carjacking or hijacking situation? How do you get yourself and your loved ones out of a dangerous situation like this alive?
As I've told you previously, I was myself in a hijacking. Fortunately, there was no child or no second person in the vehicle. I myself was hijacked right in the middle of the day on a bridge in Pretoria. And the main thing is, if you are hijacked alone, get out of the vehicle, don't make any eye contact, just walk away and hope that you're not getting to get shot, but don't resist, don't make any strange movements. If there are adults in the vehicle, all the other adults must react in exactly the same fashion. Get out of the vehicle, walk away, don't take anything which is in the vehicle. Now, unfortunately, when you have a young child of 4 or even a baby of 12 months or so in the vehicle, and that child is strapped at the back of the vehicle in a small, which is the safety, which is actually very safe, then, and these guys are in a hurry, I would say, ask them, can I get my child? Can I just take my child? And hopefully they will then allow you to take the child. But unfortunately, I don't have much advice there. If they're in a hurry, as in the case of if there was a baby strapped in the car where I was traveling in, I'm afraid that baby would have been gone for at least the next 20 minutes until the car was tracked.
Chris, you were hijacked in the middle of the day, but are there high-risk times or prime times during the day or night where we see more hijackings or carjackings happening?
I didn't get that question 100%.
Are there
other crimes?
No. Are there times during the day or night that we see more hijackings or carjackings happening, Chris? Perhaps early morning or late evening? When are the prime times or the hotspots for hijackings?
Well, that changed from station to station. It changed from station to station, and it also changed over time. For example, there was a time in Sandton, for example, where your time was plus minus in the middle of the day. When people go to the shopping center, especially ladies, they go to the shopping center, they go and buy their groceries and whatever else, have a bit of tea there, and then draw money, and then they drive back to their homes, and they are then hijacked just outside the gates or inside the premises. People, the hijackers follow them and then hijack them. Other times it may be in the evening when people arrive back from work, or in the evening when people arrive back from social activities, when it is dark. And most of these hijackings, I think, still occur as you arrive at home, especially if there's an electric gate and you try to enter the gate most of them just inside the premises or as you take the car into the garage.
Dr. Chris de Kock, our independent
But it
crime
differs from
analyst.
station to station.
Thank you, Doctor. That was Dr. Chris de Kock, our independent crime analyst, joining us there from our Pretoria studios. Thank you so much for sharing those invaluable insights with us.